Sidewalk symphonies, bachata beats, taxi cabs humming, subway screech, walk and talk, NYC, meeting peeps, interviewing life stars, no fun, no cheats.
Welcome back to Walk and Talk, where bullshit walks.
And New York City talks.
I'm the producer, Nicky Boy, with...
And I'm Ronnie, your co-host.
Now, we got a little different podcast today. It's hey, we're going on podcast 3, episode 3.
Episode 3.
But we're gonna be talking more about, like, obviously we're in an Italian studio.
Very much so.
Very much, yeah.
Very much apparent.
We're literally in actually the heart of Little Italy right now. That's where the studio is located. Hence, it's part of my job. But we want to go into both of our cultures, right?
Yeah, because I mentioned last episode that we both grew up in Brooklyn, both still live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But two very completely different sides of Brooklyn. And
So-
so you, of course, obviously very much an Italian-American family, and then me, not so much. Very Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Dominican. And so there's a lot of similarities, but like I think the best way you could describe it is like we do the same thing in different fonts.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, we want to talk about this candy. So, the Rosanna candy. This candy, I was telling Ronnie, is like the typical nonna candy. Like, she's either got this in her bag or, I mean, a bunch of other stuff. And on the bottom it says, l'originale.
Okay.
The original.
All right, yeah.
So the reason why there's an L there is because in Italian, a lot of different things are pronounced with an L. Like, for example, it doesn't have to be. It could just be originale.
Yeah.
But it's just to say the original. So for
Okay, yeah.
like if you say, hey, are you Italian? Some people say or lei italiano. But you could put the L in front of it and say lei l'italiano.
Okay.
It's the same crap.
Yeah, so, because in Spanish, this should just be original. Like, there's no L. And we don't put the in front of things like this. At least I've never heard anybody do it. We put more of, like, I think it's like de. Like, they are, like, from something.
Yeah.
So, like, if I tell you if I'm from Santiago, I'll be like, de Santiago, you know?
Yeah.
And so, it'd be different. But, yeah. I guess the Hispanic equivalent of these... Hello. Excuse me.
A little fly.
Yeah, the Hispanic equivalent of these would be, I don't know, I'm pretty sure somebody has seen them, but like the little red candies that have the strawberry wrapper.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now. That's why I want to say this before. My nonna had those too, cuz.
I'm pretty sure it's a pretty synonymous candy.
Yeah,
but like
still,
that's the one that I remember the most.
I remember these actually, we have them behind us. I remember my nonna, because she liked the the pistachio one more, pistachio.
Yeah.
And this was her fave. Like, she loved this more than the red ones, but the red ones are the typical ones, like, that everyone eats.
Yeah.
You want to try it?
Or even better one. They're those strawberry, I think they're strawberry if I remember correctly. The lollipops. They're these thick, kind of like, think of it looks like kind of like a cylinder.
Okay.
I'll look it up. I'll
show
you.
Because I never heard of this.
We'll put a picture.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they're strawberry, but even more Hispanic than the little kind of like drops. Those lollipops. I'm pretty sure you've seen them.
Yeah. If you show me a photo, I probably know it.
Everywhere, and I remember them a lot because like sometimes I think for me they're hit or miss. It depends on where you get them. They're either bomb or I don't want to see the rest of the pack.
Wait, do they have like a tahine coating on it?
Tahine is a little bit more Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a little bit more Mexican because
I remember having some type of like strawberry lollipop with tahine on a while ago. I don't remember where it was.
These they're Dominican. And they have different flavors.
I've never seen this before.
I think I'm pretty sure you have.
Maybe I have somewhere. They look OD familiar though.
Yeah, at least that specific brand. But like, yeah, these things, the Rodriguez Dulceria, like these little candies.
They look gas.
They're called caramelos, but they have a lot more. Caramelos are just caramels, but they're different flavors.
Yeah.
And so, I'll show the camera. You can zoom in on that. But yeah.
You want a review of this?
Sure, why not, dude?
Try it. I mean, I like them.
I'll definitely try it.
I'm gonna try one real quick. It's got 2 wrappings.
Oh, 2 red. That's just legit.
I don't know if you're gonna like it. It's kind of like a licorice taste.
I've never had like actual black licorice. I've had regular. Oh, I don't mind that. I like that. I didn't mean to crack it, but
it's a little bit different. It's not really sweet.
I like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's almost got like an alcohol vibe to it,
Maybe.
I taste it when I do that. But the reason why I wanted to break it up, I'm not gonna take it all. I'm gonna spit it out because I know when we talk, it's gonna just sound like us slishing it
it's
around.
Stuck to my mouth right now, and I want to finish it because I like it, but I gotta like.
I'm gonna spit it out.
You get a drink.
I'll save it for later. I'll save it for later. It's like a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Bro, those are terrible to stick to your mouth.
Oh, Jolly Ranchers are a problem. Yeah,
make you blue, and then all of a sudden you can't like open your jaw anymore.
It's still stuck. I can't get it out.
Anyway, but you get stuck. This podcast is canceled already. No, but what I wanted to say is like our cultures are very similar and different in many ways. But
time out.
yeah. It's stuck though.
All right.
All right.
Time in.
We're good?
I'm in.
All right. Sorry. He had to dislocate something from his
Lodge.
jaw. Just lodge, yeah.
Rosanna.
But what I was trying to say is that our family has very similar cultures in the idea of like, well, just in general. Like, okay, so for me, on my side of Brooklyn, I've always grown up where at least on my block there was one house with an Italian flag outside. Like 100%.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of Italian pastries shops near me, bakeries galore. Mainly a lot of our groceries are imported from Italy, but there are like some known places by me, like Frank and Sal's. Frank and Sal's is a big place that's just imported Italian food, and my family always went there. Or I actually grew up on 18th Avenue. That was where I was raised until my family moved to like more of the Bay Ridge side. But 18th Avenue is where it used to be fully Italian. They have a feast called the Santa Rosalia feast every year. So I really grew up in a neighborhood where like most people would be outside with wife beaters, gold chain. Yeah. I mean, look what I'm wearing now. But
spaghetti.
He is really spaghetti. But my dad would always wear I honestly think that's why I do it. I mean, obviously, my dad would always wear either a white tank top or a white T-shirt every day. And I mean, you've seen me. That's typically what I wear. Yeah. So
for me, I grew up and still live in Bushwick, and Bushwick was cut like I want to say down the middle. I don't remember its end because now it's very different. Yeah. But it was split. They had the light side and the dark side, and it was as self-explanatory as it sounded. Mm-hmm. The light side was a lot more, lighter people, white people. It was a mix. You get some Italians, you get the Irish, you get more of the Eastern cultures. Yeah. And then almost like European. That's why I say Eastern. So and then the dark side was a lot of blacks and Hispanics, and so. Mm-hmm. I live on the dark side, so it was a lot of people out. Not as many flags, at least not on my block. But if you went to the right place, they were everywhere, especially during the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Oh, and around that time, you would catch a flag everywhere outside hanging out the windows, on the hoods of the cars, on the lines, the power lines going across the house. It was rows of flags. Everybody was out in like the Puerto Rican tank tops, the T-shirts. There was always something going on, music everywhere. No, because... So, for you with the bakeries, me is a lot of Puerto Rican and Dominican restaurants. Okay. A lot of those. So, you the type of restaurants that you walk in and the windows are all fogged up. Yeah. Because everything is being made right there. And there was like the big buffet style thing. Oh, you walked in, you ordered right on the spot. Yeah, it hated going in them in the summer because they were deadly hot. Probably but the food was always so good.
Yeah, I think what was something that I discovered. I mean, you gotta understand, like, too, just Americans in general, or people who live here coming from a different culture, we're very proud to be from that culture.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of countries who are outside of America. And I've seen it through comments on Instagram, like, don't understand the prideness because they don't live in... Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I get it. But I think it also comes from the way you were raised, like your upbringing.
That's true.
I think we're blessed enough to have family from the places that our family is from.
Yeah, because I'm a first gen.
So we're lucky enough to be able to trace ourselves back to those places. I'm lucky enough to say my family has property in DR. My family has property in PR. So I can travel there. I can go there. I can meet, family friends that haven't seen me since I was an infant. I can go to all these little places. and see that way of life and try to my best to connect with that way of life beyond just the language.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of other people, unfortunately, aren't lucky enough to have that. And so you might have a last name that tells you you're Italian or tells you you're Puerto Rican or Dominican, but you don't feel it. You know, there's nothing there to connect yourself to unless you go and search for it. And it's a lot harder to go and get it yourself because although you're from there, you don't feel connected to that place. You feel like an outsider.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not. When I go to Italy, you know, my family says, "Oh, the American, the Americans coming." But like, you know, when I'm in New York and specifically walking around, no, people don't look at me and be like, "Wow, this guy is 100%." You know, just put salt on his food as flavoring. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you walk around, they look at you like, you know, this guy is Italian. This guy.
I went to the Nebraska last week. Last week as we talked in the podcast, and actually no, I went to Nebraska 2 weeks ago. As I said last podcast, and I remember it was the most craziest thing. Some lady came up to me just randomly and looks at me and goes, "You have the most blackest hair I've ever seen," and I was like, "Thank you."
Now, does she mean black isn't like
dark,
color?
like it was just really like she goes like no, not like the race.
No, because of course there's different like styles.
Yeah.
Of
She
hair.
like that was the most like darkest hair I've ever, and to be fair, like most people around there are more of the lighter colored hair, whiter people, and that is true, but it was just funny.
It's strange to hear that because it's so common for you.
Yeah, but no one has ever said that to me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I wanted to pose a question. So you're Puerto Rican and Dominican?
Yeah.
Okay. So where's your mom from?
My mom is Puerto Rican.
Oh crap. So I wanted to ask you, but we can even say like Latino or Hispanic. What family is more crazier? An Italian family or like a Puerto Rican DR family?
This is a tough question.
Exactly.
This is a tough
Bro,
question.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. Listen. This is with the Italians. You got family members who are asserting dominance by literally just pinching your cheeks and then yelling at someone in the next corner. And then you have families who don't talk because there's something that happened 20 years ago that they're still mad about. But Italian moms are crazy.
So are Hispanic moms, dog.
That's what I'm saying. I want to hear your side.
Okay, are you ready to argue? Because we can go back and forth
Yo,
for a little bit.
All right, go for it.
All right. If you want to talk crazy, do you, like, let's say you have friends over, right?
Okay.
Let's say you have friends over. I'm pretty sure that your family does what my family does, just in a completely different language. Or, like, they flip back and forth. We call it Spanglish.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Which is with the Italian, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that, let's say you have friends over, right? They're not Italian or they don't speak Italian, whatever it is. And your family is having a conversation. They're loud, obviously.
Yeah.
We're loud peoples.
Yes.
We're loud peoples. They're having a conversation. It's a regular conversation. Do your friends look at you and ask you why your parents or your family are arguing?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want to know.
Yeah.
I will admit that. Because, bro, we're there, or sometimes they'll yell at you in your language, being like Italian for me, just so my friends don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, but like my friends will ask me, why is your family arguing? I'm like, they're not.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I've gotten that before.
Like,
too.
why is your family arguing? Like, they're not. No,
Yeah.
like, they're having a regular conversation.
Conversation.
Or I'm 21 years old, right? I can go and do as I please for the most part. But I still, for some things, have to be like, yo, ma, like, yo, ma, I'm gonna go over here, like, you know, can I go over here? Are we gonna do something, whatever? I still low-key have to ask for permission to do things. And I feel like that's a very Hispanic family thing. I don't know if it's the same for you.
No. Okay, so it is the same for me, and I'll tell you why. My mom, love you, mom. How you doing? Love you so much. But my mom, she's the type of person who, if I'm going out,
She got to know everything, detail.
Bro.
You gotta know.
And I'm like, listen, I'm my own person. I'm independent. You tell her, hey, how you? I'm like, I'm just gonna go outside for a little bit.
I am a man.
I am a man.
Ma?
Yeah. But that's the problem. Right? But like, and I'm telling you, I don't have a curfew, but I have what we call a mother's curfew.
No,
where
does your mom not go to sleep until you're home?
Yes,
dude. It's like, Mom, I'm gonna be okay.
Yes.
Go to bed. Like, I'll be fine. I promise. I got keys, everything. Like, I'm fine. but they won't go to sleep.
No, they won't. And
they won't go to sleep. And your friend, like I'm saying your friends, as in like just our friends in general, that aren't from where we're from, will look at you and be like, "Yo, you're 18, you're 20 years old. Like, why do you need to ask for permission? You're a grown ass man." Like, I'm like, family is so much more tight knit in these cultures, and it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck how old you are. I am your mother.
Exactly. You don't talk back to me. You don't do nothing. Bro. Now listen, eat your food and get downstairs to do your homework.
And then they'll turn around and look at you. You want anything else?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
after the whole ass whooping, yelling, whatever, opens the door and just gives you a plate of grapes.
Gives you food,
it's
right?
Like, bro, like what?
I cut your fruit.
Bro, and I don't understand. I don't understand the families that like, okay, I had this friend, we're not gonna say his name, we'll call him Kyle. Kyle was in his house, right? And I remember we were upstairs playing video games. This dude screams, "Ma, I want Doritos!" I looked
and you're sitting there like shook.
I was like, yo, what? Like, what did you just say? Bro, and she came upstairs like, "What do you want, Matthew? I want Doritos now!" Like, goes downstairs, brings him Doritos, like,
dude, what?
What?
Like, you get away with that shit?
Yeah, exactly. I would have been fucking my head in a toilet bowl,
bro,
somewhere. There's no way that I would have been able to
My mother would have rose from the floor to whoop my ass. Like, do you not? I don't understand how some people get away with it.
Just comes
like,
up.
just like crazy. It's just the dynamics are so different.
Oh yeah,
like, bro, my mom and my dad are blessed enough to have, their mothers and at least one of their parents in their lives, and like, you still call them every day. You still talk to them. You're like, I think that's what makes our culture is so.
We're growing up to okay, so like we're growing up in a dynamic where you are a family, you're a one, and that's it. And a lot, and you know what it is too. Like I don't even know, what are you? First gen, second gen, third?
I don't know, for me, I don't know if maybe I'm just stupid, but it's maybe I'm just stupid. I'm definitely first generation second generation to be born like here.
Okay.
Because I believe my parents were
born here?
considered. Yeah, my parents were born here, so they're the first generation to be brought here. My grandparents are the immigrants.
So then you're third.
I'll be third.
So you're third gen.
Yeah, see, 'cause sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I've asked a few times, and I never really just no, not even that. I never really wrapped my head around it, or like I'll do the math, and then after a while I'm like, what is it again? Like, I don't know if maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know.
No. So you're probably third gen. I mean, like if your grandparents from both sides were born here.
No, they're the immigrants.
Came here.
Yeah.
So you're third gen because, wait a minute. No, I'm stupid. Your parents are or Dominican or Puerto Ricans.
Born in the U.S.
Your grandparents.
No.
Your parents.
My parents born in the U.S. My grandparents not.
So you're second gen. That's sorry. Okay. You're not third gen. You're second gen. So we're even second gen. The people in America are born with the idea that, like, you grow up to a certain point, you leave the house. I kid you not.
Hispanic and Italian families are not like that.
No,
they're not like that.
There was a documentary done. I don't know the name of it, and it was showing men. I mean, this is exaggerated, and I'm not gonna say, listen, don't do this. But men in their 40s living with their moms, like that's a little bit weird in Italy, and it's a normal thing. Like
I feel like that makes more sense in the home country, though.
Yes,
because the Americanized version of a lot of these cultures, again, is 25, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, even though now it's a lot more different, because what the fuck are you affording at 25? Not even that. Like, true. I mean, not entirely true, but, it's difficult.
Oh, you mean like what you're affording? Like what do you mean?
Like, living.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Here.
Here, it's nothing.
In the, in the motherlands and all that, it's different. Of course. It's so much different. The house that I live in right now, my great-grandfather bought it.
Oh, wow.
And it has been in the family since then. My mom still lives in her childhood home, and my grandmother is still alive.
Wow. How old is your grandma, if you want me to ask?
My grandmother, I believe, is in her 60s.
Wow. God bless you, dude.
Yeah, because my parents are 40. My parents are in their 40s.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So I'm like, I think I have the youngest parents out of all my friends.
Yeah.
So I've been blessed with that. But that house has been in the family forever. Yeah. And it's like, I know that at some point that house is going to technically be mine. So it's like, I don't know, the family unit is so much tighter, and I can already tell, like, I already know that my kids are probably going to be a little bit more disconnected from the culture than I am.
Yeah, that's
and that's
true.
just kind of naturally how it diffuses.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more on me to, like,
Yeah.
push around it. But again, that it's a bridge to be crossed when we get there.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, the family dynamic is just so different. You stay in the house.
Yeah, because you know what it is, man? It's just also, I'm not going to lie, if you're a guy, you're more, I mean, this goes for different people. I was really close to my mom my whole life. My mom was my center. My dad was everything too. But like I was really close to my mom. And there's a famous Italian photo that went around on social media for a while. It was going viral. And it's like this dude in the 1940s or 50s or something getting married to his wife in a wedding photo, but his mom is holding his hand. And it's an Italian guy. And it's like, yeah, when you married into an Italian family, you married the mother of the son as well. Yep. So it's just like a different dynamic. And some people just don't see eye to eye with it. But yelling at your mother is crazy.
Yelling at your mother is crazy, bro.
I would never.
I can say that I'm blessed enough that I can talk pretty casually with my parents.
Yeah.
Like you've heard me and my dad talk. Like we shoot the shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
We have that kind of. But again, I'm 21 years old. Like, there's been years of, yes, like kind of shit that you got to do with. But bro, still at that point, like, still there's levels to this. Like yelling at your parents, yelling at your mother is crazy.
I will admit, there's some lines, or sometimes obviously when things come up, but I won't ever like.
No, obviously at some point you're an adult, so if you get into an argument with your parents,
we're not saying we're like fucking statues that just listen.
Yeah, no, like you're an adult. If you get into an argument with your parents, you have more than a right to argue with them and go back and forth. You are now at this point 2 full-grown adults.
Yes,
but there is still that respect, like, hey, you're my parent, but then at the same time, if you're old enough, your parents have that, like, hey, like, this is my kid, but they are their own person. They are a full-grown adult at this point. Like, I'm talking to a grown-ass man. I'm not talking to my child anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like...
What I gotta ask this. What's the craziest thing your mother has done? Not to you, but just I could tell you so many stories. I got one in the back of my head that I can't even say because I'd probably be... take it to court, but well, I'm gonna say this one thing. So my mom, love her. I love her to death, but she does have like a very quick sense to. I mean, maybe for a lot of mothers that maybe I don't know if your mom's like this, but like if something bad goes on, immediately she's like, "What? Like, oh my god!" Like she like I don't know if she does that. My mom does.
My mom is very much gets nervous. She's very much a worrywart, and I love her for it. But I don't think she's not necessarily like that. She's more of like when things get crazy, she kind of gets a little bit more quiet and she starts to. She's definitely a lot more quiet. And you see her thinking.
Got it.
You see her thinking, and her main thing is just get in touch with whoever.
So my mom doesn't think; she just goes nuts. So
making her worry. My mom is very much like try to rationalize as best I can kind of person.
Yeah. Okay. I love my mom, and she knows this too. When something goes wrong, she's the worst with it. Oh. So, I just got my phone. I was in 8th grade. It was a flip phone. I was like, oh my God, I'm cool. Everyone else had an iPhone. Anyway, but I didn't care. I was happy. It's my first ever phone.
Yeah.
I lost it.
Uh-oh.
We were going away for vacation, and I needed my phone. And I don't know what exactly happened.
Yeah.
But I thought I left it in my desk in school. So I told my mom this as I'm home. I said, "Mom, listen." Now, mind you, that day, she had broken her foot. She fell down our steps, and she couldn't get her foot outside of her shoe because it swelled up. And
it was so swollen.
Yeah. Okay. So I come home. I don't want to say it. But my mom was like, "Are you ready to go? We're going because we're leaving soon, right after to go on this trip." Literally hours later, and she goes, "You ready to go? Get your book bag ready, whatever." I'm like, all right, my mom, of course, when you say get ready, she also does things to help you get ready.
She's get ready means get your bag.
Yeah,
I've unpacked it.
Yeah. So she's going through my bag, and then she goes, "Where's your phone?" I was like,
oh, that's a fantastic question.
Like, yeah, it's a great question.
Fantastic question.
So I told her I don't have it. And she goes, "What do you mean you don't have it?"
I don't have it.
and I said, "Ma, like," and mind you, this is with her leg up. She's hurting, whatever. said, Mom, I don't know where it is. I think it might be in X class. I'll just get it when we come back from the trip. That was not an answer that she was taking.
Bro, no, you need to produce that phone immediately.
My mother got up, walked on her broken foot, walked 2 blocks to go inside our school and demand that I am going to be allowed first in because of security guard and demand that they look for my phone. I, embarrassed as hell, walked up to the class I just left like 30 minutes ago, walked in, they all looked at me like, why are you back?
Why
I said,
are you
just
here?
don't ask. I
You
looked in
just
the desk.
left.
So I looked in the desk.
Was it there?
It was not there.
Oh my God. Dang.
So I went back downstairs. Oh my God, she wanted to kill me. She looks at me like, what do you mean you don't know where it is? And mind you, my mom is like so enraged at this point. Like she doesn't feel nothing. She becomes like Super Saiyan. So like her foot is like non-hurting. She's walking back with me.
Where was the phone?
Mind you, I looked in the bag first and I took out the stuff and then she proceeded to look into it after. It was in my folder. I remember before leaving class, I just put it in my folder just to put it in my book bag. When she found it and said,
Nice.
she goes, you made me walk. She goes, you made me walk on a broken foot. When it was in your bag, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know. And she was pissed at me. We made up, but that has to be one of the highlight. I mean, there's a bunch of crazy stories I can literally not say because just to protect things. But that was one of the moments that I knew, like, damn, like I'm never making my mom.
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. And then she went to the hospital after.
Yeah, and then she got checked out.
Bro, the doctor's like, I don't know how you walked on this. Like, it's broken here and here. How did you? My mom was like, when I feel pain and I'm angry, I don't feel it
Your
anymore.
mom said they just refused
She
to
became
be
the
affected.
Hulk.
She just refused to be affected. No, so your mom had, I'm guessing, because like just to kind of piggyback off the looking for something story, does your mom also have the superpower that if you can't find something and you ask her to look for it, she finds it immediately?
All the time. All the time.
Like my mom sends me in the fridge to go find some shit, and I can't find it. And so she'll get up. She goes, if I get up and I find that shit, I'm smacking the shit out of you. Or I'm whooping your ass. That's the favor. I'm whooping your ass. So she gets up and she opens the fridge. I'm like, oh, motherfucker, she's gonna find this shit. And she'll find it immediately.
Bro, but like they always
It
know.
was right fucking there.
Right
And I'm
there.
like,
You don't see that?
What do you have me with? What are you looking with your ass? Like,
And bro, but like the times when they can't find it, that's when I step up.
uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. No, but continue with the.
Like, yeah, my mom will send me to look for something all the time, and when I was younger, like it got to the point that they just like set me up to not find it. Like,
No, I think they got like a sixth sense, bro. There's got to be something where they know, like
mothers have superpowers. I swear to God,
it's like
moms have superpowers.
Yeah, you ever seen Elastigirl and she picks out something? She's like,
Yeah,
boom. It's like, dude, how did you?
I'm convinced that like mothers navigate using echolocation. Those things like bounce off of whatever they're looking for, they find it.
Oh, it's over here.
They just lock in. Like,
It's wild.
it's crazy.
What about how about this? Because I've gotten this a lot. Do you have any family relatives that know you but you don't know them?
All of them.
Oh my god! Like I'm at a family gathering. I walk up and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, oh, "Nicola, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy knows me." And then he's shaking my hand and everything and goes, "See, I remember when you were this big, whatever." I was
All
like,
the
"Oh,
time. Nice.
What's your name?
You want to hear a really, really funny story?
Sure.
A really funny story. Now, okay. Okay. So at this point, I was 14. Like it was my first year of high school. It was the first like break that I had.
Okay.
And it was my grandfather's birthday. He was turning 50.
Oh.
And no, was he turning 50 or was he turning 60? No, my grandfather's not that much younger than my grandmother. So I think he was turning 60. I'm gonna say 60.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 60. I think that sounds a lot better. And so we had this big party for him. You know, it was a big milestone, so we threw him a nice party. And a bunch of family friends and family are coming to this party. Now, my grandfather is Dominican, but he came to the US at 17 years old.
Oh wow.
So there's a lot of his family that came after,
Okay.
you know. And so there's a few of them that more than a few of them that I haven't met. So you have like, of course, you'll have his siblings and their kids and their kids. So it's quite a few people. So I get there and, you know, the party starts going, and we're seeing everybody come in. And now I'm with a family friend, and he is a senior at this point. So, you know, I'm kind of sticking to him like, yeah, like, you know, this is my senior friend.
It's my guy.
Right? This is my senior friend. Like, we're cool. So I'm sticking with him. We're, you know, shooting the shit and just kind of chilling. And, of course, it's a family party, so everybody brings their own drinks or whatever. We kind of put it behind this one thing that we just regulated as the bar.
Okay.
And it was like a bunch of people coming in and out. And so my friend was like, hey, why don't we just bartend? Like, why don't we just, like, people just come and, like, ask and we'll give it to them so it cuts out people going in and out of the bar.
All right.
And so we're like, okay, cool, that'd be fun. So I was like, okay, cool, that'd be fun. You know, like, you know, I got a job. Like, I feel a little older, right? Like, they let me serve. And I wasn't really doing anything. I was like, kind of just here, you know, getting people cups, thing and this, that. So
Easy
it wasn't even,
crap.
and it's a family party. We're like, you know, it's a family party. It's only us. So we're chilling. And before the party had really gotten going, we see this girl had gotten there, and she was really pretty, like this really pretty girl. And I can see that my friend was like, he was like, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
And I'm 14 years old.
No, wait. So,
right?
I don't know what you're about to say, but like, bro, pretty girl at a family party. This.
Can you let me finish the fucking story, nigga? So, right? So she was really pretty. I could tell that my friend was like, he was like shaking. So, you know, he was talking to me about it. He was like, yo, wow. I was like, yeah, you know, she's pretty, whatever. Like, and so we're behind the bar, and I see my grandmother walk up to the bar with this girl. Right? And so now I'm looking at my friend. I'm like, lock in. I look at him like, lock in, twin. So he's obviously very nervous. And I expect him to take the lead on this because, like, I'm 14. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm terrified of women. And so, like, I'm expecting him to take the lead here.
He was fumbling.
And he was fumbling. So she starts talking to us. And my grandma starts, like, introducing her first. And my grandma's like, oh, this is whatever his name. And she looks at me, she goes, this is your cousin. So I was like, okay. After I heard that, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I got no reason to be nervous anymore. You know, like this is no longer a random pretty girl. Like this is family.
So
like,
you didn't know it was your cousin?
I didn't. I had never met her before. I had no idea who she was.
Okay.
So when she comes in, I'm thinking, you know, it's a random. Everybody to me is random people. And so, you know, at first I was like, oh, you know, pretty girl, I'm nervous. And then like my grandma comes up and she's like, you know, this is your cousin. So I'm like, okay, you know, I don't care anymore. He wasn't off the hook.
What do you mean?
He wasn't blood related. He's a family friend. So he never met her either. If I don't know,
because he was still nervous.
Yeah, he's still like shaking. So she starts talking to us, and she's like, you know, she started striking up me. She goes, you in school? I'm like, yeah, I'm a freshman. I just started. She goes, oh, okay. And then she looks at him. She goes, you in school? And he goes, nah. She goes, so you in college right now? He goes, no. He goes, so what? I'm a senior. He goes, oh, so you are in school? I was like, I'm looking at him like, bro,
what's good?
Stop. But no, there's just like, it's a ton of people that you don't know that know you, like, all the time.
You know what it is, man? When you have such a big family, you meet people like quite literally from
the moment you're born to.
Yeah. It's just,
you don't stop meeting people. And then, like, on top of that, you have family, and then you have family friends that have been in the family forever. Forever.
All in all, in general, I think when it comes to, like, Hispanic, Latino, and even in Italian families, there's a lot of similarity.
I think we're pretty similar.
Yeah, we are pretty similar. I mean, at least that's what we got.
That's what we got from this conversation.
From just this conversation. But I think, in general, it's safe to say that we're definitely family bound, and
we're definitely a family oriented culture.
Yes. And if you marry into someone, you also marry into their family.
Please be prepared that you're gonna have a lot more cousins, a lot more relatives.
Oh man, so many aunts that are just
so many aunts, uncles, titis and tios.
You're gonna be like first cousins, second cousins. Just we just call them cousins and just
right. Everybody's a cousin.
Everyone's a cousin, but yeah, and I think that is actually going to wrap it up for this episode of Walk and Talk. A little bit more of our culture and ethnicities and our backgrounds, but I liked it. It was a good conversation.
Nah, I think it was cool. Because I don't think you really realize how similar you are to
Yeah,
You know.
I gotta come to one of your family's barbecues.
100%.
I'm
You
definitely
gotta
gonna pop
come.
out.
You gotta come.
Yeah, but we'll see you around. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you around on Welcome Talk.
Peace.
Nice. Broadway blazing, never phasing. City's heart pumping, never slow pacing.